Less than 1% of the general human population can perform a freestanding handstand push-up. This is a difficult skill requiring significant shoulder strength, balance, and stability, as well as the foundational ability to hold a handstand for an extended period, which itself is a rare ability. So, can a regular guy master the handstand push-up in just 90 days? And their answer is yes, if you follow this protocol that I'm about to give you. Now, the benefits of this protocol is that it is super simple to follow, where all you have to do is just go phase by phase. There's 4 phases, and I'll let you know when you can move on to the next phase, just to show you how I learned it at just 14 years old. And if I can learn it at just 14 years old, not knowing how to do anything really, then so can you. So phase 1 is what I like to call foundation building. And this is days 1 to 20. So this is going to go for about 3 weeks. And what you want to do is train 2 to 3 times a week. So equaling up to 6 to 9 total sessions per week. So for the foundation building, what you're going to be doing is strengthening your foundations and the muscles you need for the handstand push-up. This includes the shoulders, the traps, the back, sometimes even a bit of chest, your triceps, and really importantly, guys, your core. A strong core ensures that you can actually do the exercise properly and you're not bent like this when you actually do it, which is what happened to me when I started. So for you to actually be able to enter into phase 1, you need to be able to do at least 30 normal push-ups on the floor, at least 15 dips, and be able to hold the L-sit. If you can't do these 3, I suggest you start training to be able to do them. To get 30 push-ups, all you got to do is practice push-ups. Same thing with the dips, just practice the dips. L-sit, just keep working on it. When you can reach these 3 skills, then you can move on to phase 1. First things first is you gotta learn the balance for the handstand push-up. So exercise number 1 is 20 to 30 free weight handstands. High chance you won't be able to do this in the first week, but in the second and third week, you may even start being able to do it. If you have wrist pain, do these exercises I'm showing right now to strengthen your wrists to minimize wrist pain. If you still have wrist pain, then I would suggest get some parallels to do it, even though it may be harder, and even some wrist straps. Now, exercise number 2 that you need to do now is ×5 max handstand wall assisted hold. So you're going to go against the wall, put yourself up in the handstand position, and just hold yourself against the wall for as long as possible. And this is really just to strengthen and start making those neurons correlated with the handstand push-up, since being upside down is not a normal position. Your body needs to get used to it, and doing these max holds on the wall is not just important for the shoulder strength, but to get your brain used to being in that position. Now, exercise number 3 is 3 times max pike push-ups. Pike push-ups are great because it starts working on that handstand push-up movements, working your shoulders, triceps, back, and it also works your core, since you have to tighten your core as you do it. If you can't do that many pike push-ups yet, I would suggest doing decline. Again, I would not say you're in phase 1 if you can't do at least 3 pike push-ups. But when you can do the pike push-ups, just do 3 sets of your max pike push-ups. Always go max, because you need to build the strength needed. And if you want to be able to do it in 90 days, you need to train hard. Now, number 4 is just 3 sets of your max dips. Really easy. Now, lastly, just for some core, I want you to do some core exercises, such as the L-sit and hollow body hold. These strongly do correlate to the handstands, and I do suggest you do them after every workout. Now, let's move on to phase 2, strength development. days 21 to 40. Again, covers around 3 weeks with 6 to 9 sessions, depending if you train 2 or 3 times a week. So you're going to enter into phase 2 when you can actually hold the handstand on the floor, free weight, for a couple seconds. It doesn't matter if it takes a little longer than the 3 weeks. Just don't rush into this stage. Make sure you can hold the normal handstands for around 3 to 5 seconds, and then you can move on to phase 2. Now, the exercises in phase 2 are 5 to 10 max free weight handstand holds, similar to doing against the wall, but this time you're going to be doing it off the wall, and you're just going to hold it for as long as possible. Since you're not used to this exercise, trust me, this will burn your shoulders, and it is great to strengthen it, to get those neurons firing, and even to activate your core. So the next exercise, starting to work on the actual movement of the handstand push-up, is 3 sets of negative handstand push-ups on the wall. There's a high chance you won't be able to do the full handstand push-up yet, even if it's on the wall. So what you're going to be doing is just the negative. Just how I am showing you right now. You just do the down movement and then put your feet back up, down movement, put your feet back up, and then you do this until you're really tired. Rest for 2 minutes and do it again until you do the 3 sets. Now, finally, to absolutely destroy your triceps, you're going to do again 3 sets of max dips. By phase 2, you might notice that your dips have significantly improved, and you're doing maybe 20 dips, 25 dips free weight, and that it is easy now. So what I would suggest is add weight, because adding weight would help stimulate that handstand push-up position with more weight, and it helps you get lower reps. You would try and keep your reps to a minimum, focusing more on strength, because that's what you need for the handstand push-up. You don't need high reps now. You just need low reps with very heavy weights. Number 4 is again core exercises. I would suggest start doing some harder ones, like some longer L sits, some ab workouts, the hollow body hold, and even if you have one, an ab roller. And what's so good about the ab roller is that it doesn't just work your abs, it also absolutely kills your triceps, which is again so important. It's good to do these full body movements like the ab roller that works more than one muscle group, because that's what you need when you do the handstand push-up. It is so much different to bodybuilding. Now, when you can do 10 negative handstand push-ups on the wall comfortably, you can now move on to phase 3, strength enhancement, which is days 41 to 60. Again, roughly 3 weeks, 6 to 9 sessions. Now, for exercise number 1, you're going to be either doing 10 max free weight handstand holds without the floor, right? Like you were doing for phase 2, except now you're going to be doing it for 30-second increments. Or your first exercise would be your 3 sets of max normal wall-assisted handstand push-ups. Now, you need to do each of these and decide what you need to work on. Is it balance or strength? You might find that now entering into phase 3, you can do 5 handstand push-ups on the wall. But you may find that you can only do the free weight handstand and hold it for 10 seconds. So maybe your first exercise would be balance, and then it would be the handstand push-ups on the wall, which is strength. So decide what you need to work on. Is it strength or balance? And do that one first. Now, number 3 is just 3 sets of weighted dips. How you can do weighted dips at home, again, just grab a bag, put a bunch of books, and start doing the weighted dips. And that's how I did it, honestly. If you go to the gym, obviously you can just use a weight belt. But if not, at home, again, it's super easy to do. Now, exercise number 4, and I think you guys already know, just more core exercises. Now I'm going to let you decide whichever ones you want to do. Now, lastly is phase 4, skill integration, which is days 61 to 90. Now notice that phase 4 is basically 30 days, while all the other phases were just 20 days. The reason for this is because you're up to really learning the handstand push-up off the floor, and this will certainly take the longest. So this is going to go for about 4 weeks, 8 to 12 training sessions in the phase, and maybe even more if it takes longer. And you enter in this phase when you can do 6 handstand push-ups against the wall. And one thing, make sure these handstand push-ups are good form, with your back straight and your elbows going down in a 90-degree angle. Make sure they do not flare outwards, because that is not proper form. You want to treat it like doing a dip, not like a really wide push-up, if that makes sense. The reason why I named phase 4 as skill integration is because you're starting to combine strength with balance, and you're actually starting to practice the movement free weights. So basically, I'm not going to specify the number of reps because it depends on you, but it's around 30 to 45 minute blocks of just trying the handstand push-up on the floor. Try it, and if you fail, no matter if you get angry, don't try it immediately after. Take 1 to 2 minutes rest, visualize yourself doing it, breathe, calm down, and then try again. You can't fatigue yourself in this stage, because learning how to actually do one handstand push-up off the floor is so hard. And I remember back when I used to try to learn it, I used to try to do it, and I used to get really close, and then I used to get excited or angry that I couldn't do it, and then I tried immediately. And what I found is that when I actually took the time to sit down, visualize myself getting into the position, doing it, in that 2 minutes rest break, when I actually tried to do it, there was a higher chance that I did it. So remember that tip for this stage, because it is really crucial. It is all about the placebo effect, guys. If you believe you can do it, there is a higher chance you can do it. Now, exercise number 2, what you can do after trying it on the floor, just to maintain your strength, you can do the handstand push-ups on the wall, or you can back off and not do it. If you're doing 3 sessions a week, I would recommend not doing 3 sessions a week of the handstand push-ups against the wall, because you're just going to get fatigued and you're not going to have enough strength to actually try it. I remember when I was learning the handstand push-up, I used to do the handstand push-up, and then I used to do the handstand push-up on the wall for 3 times a week, right? Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I remember I used to get really bad shoulder pains when I woke up. So either do 2 sessions a week, trying to do the handstand push-up on the floor and then the wall, or 3 sessions a week, just trying to do the handstand push-up, off the wall. It is up to you, and it just depends what you need to work on. Is it more strength, balance? Find something that works for you, and this is, remember, just a guide. Now, what you're going to do, if you're not going to do the handstand push-ups against the wall, is just some moderate pike push-ups and moderate dips. 3 sets for both. You want to do enough that you maintain and even build your strength, but don't go to failure, because you want to leave some reps in the tank for your next session. You want to conserve energy for the hardest thing, which is actually learning the handstand push-up. Now, lastly, again, I'm sure you guys know what I'm going to say, is keep doing your core exercises, because they are crucial. Now, day 90, and hopefully you have mastered the handstand push-up for 1 rep. If you haven't, continue trying it, and eventually you get it. But phase 5, guys, is just continue practicing the handstand push-up and get more reps, and just get better at it. And then eventually you can start integrating skills like the L-sit into the handstand, the 90-degree handstand push-up. And when this happens, you're going to start enjoying calisthenics. I've now reached that level where I can do that, and trust me, guys, it is the best feeling. So that is the 4-stage program that you can use to learn the handstand push-up. I truly hope you've gained a protocol and a guide that you can use to learn handstand push-up, and I truly hope this works and that you can learn it yourselves, because trust me, when you can actually learn this skill, it is the best feeling ever. Thank you so much for listening. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all for the next one. Peace.